Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 7 US Heavy Cruiser, the New Orleans. We're playing a match on the map Two Brothers, and I'm a little bit annoyed. You see, I wanted to swap out the start of this video for the start in the replay, just sped up and looking nice. However, I couldn't do that because replays don't really work properly. I started the game or launched the replay about 6 or 7 times, and none of the times I got replay controls. It seems to be somewhat random, and that it annoys me a little bit, okay? And I just wanted to complain. Anyway, in this match, I'm the top tier heavy cruiser, and if you don't know, New Orleans has a 25mm bow and stern, and well, all over, on the sides, on the deck, which means that the only ship that can really threaten me with AP here, unless I show broadside, is the Sinop. Therefore, I wanted to go to the side where Sinop was not at. And New Orleans is an excellent ship for these kinds of matches because her AP is amazing against tier 5 heavy cruisers, or light cruisers, I guess. Because often she can simply overmatch the bows. You know, a cruiser overmatching another cruiser is quite incredible, and it's not something that happens often at higher tiers, but the US cruisers, heavy cruisers at least, can do that. Anyway, we managed to deal with the Okhotnik. Next up, we're gonna start fighting the Helena, who is a bit far away, so the shells will take a while to get there, and I'm not really used to this kind of AP usage. You know, it'll take me a few salvos before I get into my groove again. I don't really need to worry about the König, as long as I don't show her broadside like I am right now, but I don't expect to be fired upon, at least not until my ship will be turned anyway. And once that's the case, the König can't overmatch me, so oh, she only fired HE, but never mind. But if she had fired AP, I would be already angled and she would mostly bounce off of my ship, although the shells that hit the superstructure would still deal damage. So I try to be somewhat more defensive at the moment, because while if I angle, none of the battleships can citadel me, right? But it's difficult to angle against 2 different points. You know, the König and the Congo both. So I tried turning away. Also, I noticed that there's somebody entering our cap. A little Hawkins over there. Which means that since I'm the closest ship, I'm gonna go back and try to defend. Now, you might argue that I'm not the closest ship, you know, some of my teammates were actually closer to Flint, but I was actually pointed towards the cap zone, so it'll take me less time to get there. Besides, fighting Hawkinses with New Orleans is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, a broadside Hawkins versus New Orleans AP. Hello, Citadel hit. Now it's the rear turret's time. Even if she angles, I don't think it'll work out well for her. 2 citadels from the rear turret. Okay, we only got regular penetrations this time. She does have 32k HP, and I think she is healing, which is something I'm kind of envious of. But she is angled, so I'm thinking of maybe I should swap over to the other Hawkins instead, right? The one that's showing broadside in the cap, because there's a second one. I do play a little bit with my throttle to confuse them and make it more difficult for them to land shells on me. Oh, yep, there is the broadside one. Hello, Hawkins. That was only the rear turrets, and that was a citadel right there. 6k damage. That's a fifth of her HP gone. That's 3 more citadels, I think. 15k. Oh, and this Hawkins is showing broadside. Now, she does have torpedoes. That's why my Hydra is running, but hello, another 3 citadels. And now it's the other Hawkins' turn. They are the torpedoes, but they are no real threat to me. Okay. We dealt with the threat, but the cap is still being locked, which means that there's a destroyer on one of those sides. Since I have RPF, I can easily pinpoint where the destroyer is, and so I'm gonna try to chase towards her. If the destroyer runs away from me in a direct line, it's possible that I will drive them towards the ship pod. Oh, torpedoes, let's dodge them, easy since I have high drop, and it seems the destroyer is simply running away. In that case, I guess I'll just fight the ships over here. However, the problematic part is, remember I said Sinop is the only ship that can overmatch my bow and stern? Well, unfortunately, the Sinop is almost full HP and she is right there. So I do want to take some evasive actions. I wish to utilize the island to give me some cover, although perhaps that isn't going to help me since there is a destroyer behind me. But we probably won this match. Our Flint and Eisenhower are heading towards their cap zone, and the only 3 ships they have are Shiratsu, Sinop, and Belfast. The tier 7 ones, Belfast is probably not going to be too much of a problem. My AP is very effective against her as well, but the Sinop herself is effective against me. That's an issue. Also, the New York we have might be ambushed by the destroyer. But if I stay here, maybe it'll make it less... Wait, what's fire? Oh, it's the Belfast that's firing on me. I guess IFA was pretty useful here. I probably wouldn't have noticed until the shells arrived. Although, I guess I'm not too afraid of what the Belfast can do to me, because, you know, it's a Belfast and her AP is not that amazing. Her HE is pretty good, but my AP is more amazing than her HE. At least when we fight one another when showing relatively broadside-ish. I don't know why she's showing me broadside. Does she think I can't punish her or something? Okay, apparently I guess I can't punish her. I did break her rudder, so either she damage-won or she's going in a straight line for a while now. Damn, I really need some more practice with these guns, huh? But there are the 2 Citadel hits, and now she's too low HP for this to matter, I think. Oh, is she gonna stop to smoke? Well, you're broadside on, you're still gonna get Citadel, even if you smoke. Or overpen. Never mind. But Belfast has decided that she apparently doesn't deal that much damage to me, that she's going to go elsewhere. And Streps and his Akatsuki actually stole my kill. Wait, what? The Shiratsu opened fire on me? Okay. Well, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna sail to the middle of the map. Then I'm gonna sneakily turn around as the Shiratsu goes behind the island. And then I'm gonna ambush her with a heavy cruiser. Yeah, right. That's definitely gonna work. But I'll try anyway, because I can't leave the cap unattended. So I need to just sail towards her. I have a Hydro, so it should be okay. And I think even in a gunfight, despite the fact that I only have 5k HP, I should be able to win this. Although, Streps did mention that if the Shiratsu has IFHE, she can probably just kill me outright with the guns before I can kill her. But I think we're gonna win with caps very, very soon. Okay, and I don't think I even get the next salvo because the game's gonna end. Yep, we capped and won with the Eisenhower and the Flint. So, as you saw, the New Orleans is excellent against Hawkins. 15 Citadel hits. 15! 1900 base XP. Those Hawkinses just got absolutely demolished. New Orleans AP is amazing, especially when you fight tier 5 ships. It's just excellent. Look at that. 36k, 34k. Just like that. So, let's take a look at the commander skills and upgrades that I used on this New Orleans. So, remember, if you don't have a 19-point captain, that's fine. Just take the skills in the order I take them, or swap them around a little bit. But I always start with priority target, it's an excellent skill. Then I take expert marksman, especially on this line, because the Pensacola's turret traverse is very, very slow. However, other players seem to like to go with adrenaline rush first, so you know that might be something you wish to choose. But if you're gonna use this on Pensacola, I definitely recommend starting with expert marksman. Next up, I take survivability expert, but if you plan on using this captain on the tier 9 and tier 10 versions of the ship, and maybe even Baltimore at tier 8, then you might want to take superintendent first instead, because superintendent gives you an extra consumable and you really want this skill when you have a heal, whereas survivability expert becomes a questionable choice at that point. But because the ship doesn't have a heal and I have enough captains, you know, to run it on all the other ships, I don't need to worry about that. Next up, take Concealment Expert. This is the key skill. The first 10 points are always either Priority Target Expert Marksman, then I guess Superintendent Concealment Expert, or maybe you can swap Expert Marksman for Adrenaline Rush. Next up, the other 9 points are more up to you. In my case, I figured I would go for Radio Location. Oh, Expert Loader is also a very nice skill. Radio Location and Expert Loader. And usually I go for Jack of all trades, but here I decided not to. I essentially decided to go for Preventative Maintenance and Incoming Fire Alert. I simply wanted to try it out. But I don't think this is a good choice. Incoming Fire Alert, for me at least, isn't that useful. I don't notice that somebody fired at me. The icon change is too small, a little, I guess. And instead, I think I would go for Jack of all trades, especially on the higher tier ships, especially when you have a heal or radar, because this also means your radar and heal cooldown is faster. But this helps you with Hydro or Defensive Anti-Air if you have that, and obviously Damage Control Party. Upgrades wise, I go for Propulsion. I'm really liking Propulsion nowadays. I don't know why I kept going steering gears in the past. This propulsion is I mean, you can see, available 26. I've been swapping a lot of ships out for propulsion instead of steering. Then I go for the better dispersion, honestly, because it doesn't matter that much. There aren't really great choices for this ship. I mean, this turret traverse one is great, but secondary is pointless, and the anti-air gun is also pointless, because it doesn't do anything. It just makes your sector preparation time faster. It's a minor difference. Then in this slot, Damage Control System Modification 1, if you have a special Hydro upgrade or Defensive Air upgrade, you know, depending on which skill you use, if you have the one for it, I use Hydro, use that one, but if you don't have it, go for Damage Control. And then in the first slot, Main Arms Modification 1 as usual. This puts you at a nice 10.8 kilometer concealment. By the way, look at the air concealment, 5.4. And your anti-air range is 4.8, so there isn't that big of a difference. It can catch some CVs off guard, although sadly your anti-air is not strong enough to really threaten too many of them. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.